41 yards on the season thus far. We'll see if he can get things going Sunday against the Panthers, a team he had 0 catches against in week 2. I know there were plenty of fantasy owners, Kay, who were not happy about his production thus far.
I thought he would be a top 10 tight end. I thought Mike Evans and Chris Godwin would be top 10 wide receivers. It hasn't panned out that way. Only for Chris Godwin, who is actually the #1 fantasy wide receiver of 2019 so far. We're going to get back to O.J. Howard in just a little bit. Thank you so much, Will. And as we do talk about fantasy football here on a Wednesday, you're setting your lineups for Thursday night action between the Giants, of course, and the Patriots. I thought this would be a perfect time for a round of fantasy face-off based off of a guy who I think is not getting enough love. His name is Amari Cooper, and he came to the Cowboys. He's now been there for 14 games. This is the sample size. It's pretty big. It's over pretty much almost a full season. In that time, he is second in receiving yards and second in receiving touchdowns in the NFL. He is balling. He's played 14 games, and he's been a top 3 PPR receiver over that stretch. And coming off his 3rd career 200-yard game, by the way, puts him in elite company with the likes of Julio Jones and T.O. in a tie for 5th most 200-yard games of all time. This week, he's got the Jets on the docket. Trumaine Johnson, he's been benched at times. Darrell Roberts, Nate Hairston. Do these sound like guys that can contain Amari Cooper? I think not. So let's hit a little fantasy face-off. If you're looking at NFL.com's rankings for Week 6, Amari Cooper finds himself at number 8. All of these guys are studs. These two haven't been as productive, so I wouldn't put them at the top, but I like the matchups. I might move them down. I feel like it's weird that Adam Thielen isn't on this list. He's got a nice spicy matchup up against the Eagles who can be thrown on. So let's go through this. Amari Cooper's at 8. I feel like he should be higher. Should he be higher, though, than Odell Beckham Jr.?
Oh, yes.
I think so. I mean, you're looking at the quarterback problems here, the Freddie Kitchen problems here, and you're looking at the fact that Odell Beckham Jr. only has 1 touchdown on the season. Last 3 games, he's been held to under 60 receiving yards. Is he even the #1 wide receiver in this offense? He's pretty much neck and neck with Jarvis Landry. He's a bit of a 1-1A situation. I say up against Seattle, I'm going to go ahead and bring Amari Cooper up above Odell Beckham Jr., who has a touchdown in every game this year. He's got 5 in 5 weeks. Should Amari Cooper be up against Keenan Allen, who's been balling? Such a hot start to the start of the season.
Down week, right?
Listen, he's had 2 down weeks. He's had a couple of games where he hasn't been as great, and he only has 3 touchdowns this season to Amari Cooper's 5. I just feel like this matchup against the Jets is hot. It needs to be higher than even Keenan Allen. Now, there's no one hotter right now in the game than Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is crushing it. As I said, the #1 fantasy wide receiver, and he's got an okay matchup, a pretty tough matchup against the Carolina Panthers. Their pass defense is legit. I'm going to bring this one back to the table for a second because there might be a reason to get maybe their tight end more involved, guys.
Oh, my gosh. Garofalo, what happened at the baseball game?
Yeah, so there's a foul ball in the Tampa Bay Rays game.
Okay.
And this guy reaches up and grabs it, and the announcer says, bare-hands it, one-handed, and the announcer says, oh, that guy seems like very happy with the fact that he caught this foul ball or whatever. And he doesn't realize who it is, and at some point Twitter realizes it's O.J. Howard with a one-handed grab up the right field line.
So does Bruce Arians see that, guys, and say we're going to give O.J. Howard some looks this week? That's the problem with Chris Godwin. I like him. He's going to ball out this week. But on any given week, they can give O.J. Howard the ball more, give some more targets to Mike Evans as well. So, yeah, I like Amari Cooper's matchup. I like Michael Gallup as a top 10 wide receiver, by the way. But I'm going to put him above Chris Godwin and Cooper Kupp. I like Cooper Kupp. I don't like the matchup. I'm buying into the San Francisco pass defense, their run defense all around. They are top 10 least generous to the wide receiver spot. Cooper Kupp is going to get his, but I believe in the consistency of what Amari Cooper's done for 14 games over what Cooper Kupp has done this season. Michael Thomas, 45 catches. Marv versus Mike. He has more catches than any wide receiver in the league. But up against Jacksonville, we don't know what's going on with Jalen, but if Jalen and Boye are out there, I think that might be a little bit of trouble for Cam.
He's never faced him before, Kay.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how that works out on the field, but I would trust Amari Cooper. Do I like him more than Julio Jones? I like Julio, but he's not doing it as far as yards are concerned. He's averaging less than 70 a game through 5 games this season. The consistency really isn't there. I'm scared of this offense. Amari Cooper, I mean, even in a game where they were down, where Dak threw 3 interceptions, he had a 53-yard touchdown that probably had more points than Julio's had in games this year completely off of 1 play. I like him more than Julio, and I like him more than DeAndre.
Okay.
Even though I think he'll bounce back. People are freaking out about DeAndre Hopkins. They took him #1 overall. They took him early in the first round. DeAndre Hopkins will get his up against Kansas City because it'll be a high-scoring game, of course. But I'm just not really buying the fact that DeAndre is going to get it done as consistently as he can when you've got guys like Kiki QT and you've got guys like Will Fuller 5 doing their thing. So, yeah, Amari Cooper's the #1 wide receiver on my board this week. What do you guys think?
It was the Darren Fells show the other day, right? And, for the Texans. So that killed him. I got him. I didn't take him first overall, but I got him
Hopkins
first round.
hasn't gone over 100 yards or scored a touchdown since week 1.
Will Fuller the 5th, man. And I'm just like, hey, I'm looking at this segment. Has Amari been paid yet? Has Dak been paid yet? Because I know Zeke got all the money in the world. That's going to end well, right?
Hey, that driving Amari week in, week out. He had a drop last week that got picked off. He did not like it. Was a bad drop in his eyes. It wasn't even counted as a drop in the NFL. He's always sort of been tied to those drops throughout his career, even back to college. Every little play is wearing on him so much because he wants to get paid and win with this team.
He's going to get paid. He's going to get broke off.
You know what the craziest thing about the O.J. Howard catch was at that baseball game? He almost had to leave his section and he toe drag swagged on his section to make it. Yeah, we got to break it down. It's an awesome catch.
We need the footage. We'll be back.
Could
the Bills actually challenge the Patriots in the AFC East? That is a question.